All right, section 4.1 homework. This is question number 9. This one is a little tiny bit different. The last 3 questions we did, it asked for a leading coefficient of 1, but in this one, it tells us the graph has to pass through a particular point. So I'm going to create a list of zeros and factors and multiply out my factors, but then I'm going to have to figure out what leading coefficient will produce a point with an input of 7 and an output of 240 for my polynomial. All right, so we approach it the same way we did the other one. I'm going to show off the answer there. So zeros, let's see, we got -3, 1, and 5. They don't give us any multiplicities, so if they don't, we just assume that they're all showing up once. So factors will be x plus 3, x minus 1, and x minus 5. Again, x-intercepts. I keep listing these even though the question doesn't need them because I want you to get used to the idea that all these 3 things go together. That would be -3, 0, 1, 0, and 5, 0 if we were to graph this thing. Okay. And p of x equals, I'm going to create a polynomial by multiplying the 3 factors that correspond to the 3 zeros we were given, but I don't know what the leading coefficient is supposed to be, so I'm going to put in a. You can pick a happy face or a flower, whatever, some unknown that we're going to have to solve for. All right, so first thing, I'm going to multiply all this stuff out. Don't put a in your pocket and take it home, though. So we got x squared minus x plus 3x minus 3. Can you hear my mastiff in the background snoring? Finnegan just came into the room, and as soon as he plops down, he falls asleep. He's like narcoleptic. Okay, I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I can combine like terms in there. X squared plus 2x minus 3. I wonder if it's as comical as it seems while I'm taping this. All right, now I'm going to multiply out x squared times x, the x cubed, x squared times minus 5, minus 5x squared. I'm going to do the 2x times x, and the 2x times minus 5, and then these down here. I kind of run out of room. That's why I do these 2 on the bottom. All right, all of that. So p of x, the polynomial function, is supposed to have the form a is some non-zero number. I haven't decided what it is yet, times all this stuff, which I think I can clean up a little bit. Right? I can combine a couple of like terms in here. We got x cubed minus 3x squared minus 13x plus 15. Okay, there we go. Now, this is the point where in the questions before, when we wanted a leading coefficient of 1, we just replaced a with 1, which left this as the polynomial, and we were done. But in this case, we want this to go through a particular point, 7, 240. So that means if I put in an input of 7 into this function for the x values, the output, right, p of 7, because I called the function p, should spit out a 240. So watch this. P of x is 240, right, because that's the output supposed to come out. I still don't know what a is equal to, but now I'm going to put 7 in place of all of these x's. I use a bracket for this one so I can use a parenthesis for my 7s, like that. And that. Keep going, plugging and chugging. All right, so now I have an equation that I can solve for this missing value a. That'll give me my leading coefficient. So let's multiply some stuff out. 7 cubed, so that's 49 times 7. 28, 6, that's 343. I know somebody out there shouting, it's 343. I don't have my calculator out. Give me a break. 3 times 7 squared, so that's 49 times 3. 27, so 147. The bad part about doing this video is I'm not doing it with anybody's feedback, so if I'm making any stupid mistakes, you're all sitting there screaming at me and I can't hear you. 13 times 7, 91, plus 15. And by the way, if you find any mistakes in these videos, by all means, message me so that I can fix them. All right, let's figure out 343 minus 147. I know I'm doing this the long way and it's probably driving you all berserk. 196 minus 91 plus 15, 120. So 240 equals A times 120. Oh, there's Finnegan or Tonka, one or the other. And this makes me warm and fuzzy inside because when I solve for the value of A, 240 is evenly divisible by 120, and A equals 2. So that will be my leading coefficient. Oh. I just had a sniff. Finnegan came over and checked out my papers, but I don't know if you saw them. All right, so my final answer, P of X, we'll go back to this line back here, where we replace this A with a 2, x cubed minus 3x squared. That's Finnegan moving my chairs around. I'm getting up the table. Sorry. It's probably a good idea to multiply this stuff out. 2x cubed minus 6x squared minus 26x plus 30. There you go. Hope this was entertaining.